Good morning, girls and boys, and welcome back to our art class. It is a new year, and I hope that all of you enjoyed your break and had a great vacation with your friends and your families. And I am so looking forward to a much better year this year. So we're back in our art class, and if you remember, we were creating a self-portrait. A portrait is a picture of a person, right? And so a self-portrait would be a picture of what? Very good. If you said yourself, then you are correct. So we were working on that self-portrait drawing in preparation for, in quotes, No Name Calling Week. And there is a competition. So for this week, which is week 16 of our art class, we are going to be finishing up that self-portrait. So we began last time. This time we're going to add color, and we're going to trace, and we're going to talk about color in particular. I have 3 examples here, 3 examples of very famous artists' self-portraits. And they will be found under the attachments so that you can look at them longer and you can study them or, be inspired by them. But this one right here is, the artist's name is Gustave Courbet. You say Gustave Courbet. Very good. Vincent van Gogh, which you're all familiar with. And Frida Kahlo. Okay, so those 3 artists I chose in particular to talk about not only expression, but color as well. So if you have your self-portrait drawing that we began, this one I had done with my lips together, right? Not showing any teeth. And the one that I did with you guys before the break was this one, and it was smiling, showing teeth. Do you have to make it that way? No. If you choose not to include teeth and you just want to have your mouth closed and show your lips but no teeth, you can absolutely do that. And if you did it this way, showing teeth, and you want to change it, you can just simply erase it, okay? So the reason that I'm saying that is because these are not showing teeth. And so when you show teeth, there's really only one emotion that you can be showing, right? And what would that be? Happiness, right? Right. If you don't have your teeth showing, you could be grinning, you could be straight-faced, you could be a little frowny, right? So think about those expressions that we make with our mouths, and look at the examples here. They are maybe this eyebrow is a little bit turned down like that. Maybe he's a little bit confused, Vincent van Gogh. Maybe he was a little frustrated. I don't know. Maybe he was not having the best of days, right? We've all felt that, and that's okay. But Gustave over here, does he look frustrated or confused? No. What does he look like? If you said surprised, you're correct, because his eyes are wide open, like this. And another thing that adds expression to his self-portrait is what he's doing with his hands, right? He's like, oh, I'm so surprised, right? I mean, that's what he looks like to me. He might be scared, right? There are many emotions that look similar. But the reason that I'm talking about emotions and Frida Kahlo right here, I'm not sure what she feels, right? That could be anything. She's pretty straight-faced. So my reason for showing you these famous self-portraits is because the No Name Calling Week competition is asking you to produce an emotional self-portrait. Emotional. So showing any emotion that you choose, right? It's your self-portrait. So if you want to convey or show scared, surprised, sad, frustrated, happy, excited, confused, pensive, which means thinking, you can pick whichever one you want. And we're gonna start working on ours in just a second. I also wanted to show you and share with you the color wheel, but it's an emotional color wheel. So this is also going to be found under the attachments so that you can look at them. But if you notice, in each circle, you find a word: joy, trust, fear, surprise, sadness, disgust, anger, anticipation, and joy. So these are not necessarily, you don't have to use these colors to represent the emotion that your self-portrait is going to feel. You do not have to do that. I mean, my favorite color is green, right? So if I chose this green, it means fear, but I'm not feeling fear right now. So I could just disregard this chart if I want to, or if I want to go by the chart, then I think I'm going to choose for mine trust and joy. So I'm gonna focus primarily on greens, light greens and yellows, and maybe a little orangey, right? So that's what I'm going to choose to do. But if you look here, you can see that some of this might actually show the emotion, right? Let's see. Frida, there's like a lot of reds and purples, deep purples that I see here in her background. And so red would represent anger and purple would be disgust. Like, that's disgusting, right? She's disgusted and angry at something. She doesn't look angry, except maybe her eyebrows are a little bit frowny. I don't know how you call it, but she doesn't look happy, but she doesn't look angry. So it's kind of, I don't know, iffy. Vincent van Gogh, primarily, that means mostly, his background is what color? Very good. If you said blue, then you're correct. And the blue could either represent sadness or surprise, right? Remember I said maybe he looks a little bit frustrated or confused, or it could be sad. So that would be the emotion that's being shown in his self-portrait. And Gustav's, I don't know. I think that's a very realistic representation, and more than the color showing his emotion, I think his body language is what's showing his emotion. So, yeah, let's get working, right, on our self-portraits. So, I'm going to remove these guys. And I'm going to put this guy up here. And I say this guy because, I don't know. He could be a girl. He could be a girl with short hair. So I'm gonna do this. Since I chose green for trust and joy, yellow, I'm going to pick a kind of like a green teal marker. Now what I'd like you to do, boys and girls, is don't panic, just listen. I know that some of you have already created your self-portraits and they look gorgeous, and I know you jumped forward, some of you, and you already added your color and you already submitted it in Google Classroom, and it's great. Don't worry. If you haven't finished it, then this is your opportunity to add that emotional aspect by using color, okay? Or by changing the expression in your face. So what I'm going to ask you to do for this week 16 of our project is to complete this in whichever way you want, okay? If you haven't done so already. By Friday, I need them submitted, and they need to be completed if you would like them entered in the competition. I cannot enter incomplete work, right? You know that. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you are at this point in our drawing, oh, let me see. I remember now the lighting is a little bit, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to trace and then erase. And this is why. We're going to trace the parts that we want to keep. So I am going to trace the contour or the outline of this person's face. I'm going to trace the neck, the curved lines in the neck. I'm going to trace the whole shirt and lines for the shoulders. Okay? And I'm going to trace the ears. I'm going to basically trace only the lines that I want to keep. Every other line that I don't want to include, boys and girls, is going to be left here and then erased afterwards, okay? So all of the vertical guidelines that we drew, hold on. I'm gonna try to get you closer so that you can see it. The horizontal guidelines that we drew, those are gonna disappear. The top of the oval is also going to disappear. So right now, I'm gonna add this other ear in. Take your time, do your best, so that you can always be proud of everything that you do. So here are my eyes, which I'm keeping. I'm going to only keep my short little curved lines for my eyebrows, okay? I am going to erase that first curved line, right? I'm going to keep my nostrils. That's very important for a self-portrait. You have to believe that the person can breathe, right? Now I'm only going to choose one of these lines to represent the bridge of your nose, right? You can put both of them. You don't have to put either one of them. It is your choice. I'm going to do one. Now, if you're going to change your mouth and you don't want to smile showing your teeth, then erase it now and redraw it, okay? But since I'm doing the colors representing trust and joy, I am going to leave my teeth, okay? I'm going to trace my upper lip. I am going to keep these two little curved lines that show the creases, right? They're like laugh lines. That's what they're called. And I'm going to trace some of these teeth here. And the bottom lip. Okay. Now, very important. The hair. We're only going to trace the hair, whatever hairstyle that is. So I'm going to come up here. Notice I'm tracing this wavy, curved line. And this one over here. This is a little chopped up. Okay. Now, I do want to include my hairline, right? So I am going to put this curved line here, showing that this is my forehead and this is my hair. Notice I have a lot of lines left. I have many pencil lines left on my paper. Now I go back with an eraser, whatever kind of eraser you have, and I'm going to erase. Now I know I don't need any of these other lines. No guidelines, no top of my oval, because you don't see the top of my oval, right? This is hair. So I'm super proud of you, boys and girls. This is hard to do. A lot of grown-ups can't do this. Okay, so I'm going to erase, 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 erase. Okay, I think I've erased all of my pencil lines that are left showing to the best of my ability. If you pressed really, really hard, you're still gonna be able to see them a little bit, but it's okay because once you add the color, then they'll be hidden. So now, let's see. Now we're ready for color. So I am going to work on my green. Showing trust and joy. I don't know, maybe I'm going to add, maybe I'm going to make green hair. Do you have to make green hair, boys and girls? No. You could make this look realistic if you wanted to. You could make the background represent the color from this color wheel if you chose to. It is up to you, okay? I am just gonna go along, I don't know, kind of like Vincent van Gogh-ish, right? I see a lot of yellows and I see some greens. So I'm just gonna give this person some green hair, but you do not have to. Okay. And take your time and color carefully and fill in the white spaces and just do your best always, okay? Because if you're going to bother doing it, you might as well do it to the best of your ability, right? So that you can always be proud of your efforts. And I am super proud of you, boys and girls. You have been amazing artists this whole time. Can you believe it? It's week 16. Crazy, in the new year. So yeah. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to use a green marker, and remember, boys and girls, you can use whatever materials you have. I usually choose markers and crayons because that is what most of you have at home. But if you have oil pastels or paints or chalk or any other materials that you would like to use that are available, please use them because that is fun. Okay, so here's my yellow. And it doesn't always have to be like this, boys and girls. It doesn't always have to look like that. I mean, I could take green and I could color on top of my yellow if I wanted to. It's not about making it look perfect, boys and girls. It's about expressing yourselves, right? This is an emotional self-portrait, remember. So whatever emotion you are trying to convey, that is what you should be trying to do. And just get it out of your head or out of your body, out of your soul. Get it out onto the paper, right? So it looks like I'm scribbling and I'm not really taking my time, but I actually am looking at all of the marks that I'm making. I just want some of the yellow to show through, and then I want some of this green to show through. So I'm kind of trying to mix them together. And that's hard to do with crayon. It's a lot easier with pastels or paint, but that's okay, right? We make do with what we have. So now the mouth, I don't know, what am I gonna do? Should I do dark green in here? I'll do dark green in here, crayon. And now I have to find a lip color and I have to do, oh boy, I should make these pupils. I think I'm going to make them black because I already used the darkest green. And I don't know, the teeth I'm gonna leave white like the paper. And I just have the lips left and the shirt and this background. Now, I could do whatever I want. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just take marker and I could make, I don't know. I could make designs with lines if I wanted to, or shapes. I could fill up this background with whatever I want. I don't know. Maybe I have another color, like my yellow. Oh, and my yellow dried out, but I could use orange. Orangey-ish yellow, right? Orange here is anticipation, like I'm anticipating something, right? That means I'm waiting for something to happen. So maybe I'm waiting for some good surprise or something. And I'm thinking about it. Maybe these lines mean that I'm thinking. I don't know. You don't always have to know either, boys and girls. Sometimes you just start creating and you're not sure how it's going to turn out. And that's okay because that's part of the fun, is the process. The process of making art is fun in itself. And that's how we learn and discover and express ourselves. Sometimes it's nice not to have a plan, right? Maybe I'm gonna put some orange in here. I don't know. Do you have to do this way? No, the answer is no. Do you have to choose these colors, boys and girls? I can't hear you. No, the correct answer is no. These are simply examples. Examples of what it is that you can do if you choose to, okay? So I'm just putting these here, showing you different examples so that you can make choices about your self-portraits, right? And yeah, I mean, if I wanted to, I could, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things that I could show you. Maybe this is kind of the same color, just in a different marker. But look, I could make thin lines. I could make a pattern, right? 2 thin lines, 1 thick, 2 thin, 1 thick. To make it a little bit more interesting, right? When you add variety or different choices, it makes it much more exciting to look at, and that makes it fun to make because you know that people are going to be excited to see your work and wonder why you did things the way that you did. So yeah, maybe the shirt is gonna be orange. Or you could put a color pattern in your shirt as well. Or you could leave the background plain white, or you could just color it one color, right? It is your choice. All of it is your choice. And that's about it. Okay, and maybe, there we go. See? Sometimes it just takes a minute to have the right idea pop into your mind, right? So there are my orange lips. And I like them. And I love that we are back together, and I so look forward to seeing your wonderful, wonderful self-portraits for No Name Calling Week for the competition. Okay? So please get them into me. Thank you so much for joining me today, boys and girls, and I will see you again next time. Bye.